Do I need to have sales scripts for my roofing sales guys?
We don't. Um, we have a few little pieces of, we have sales strategy. I don't want to call it a script because it's not a script. Because if you talk like a robot, you're not going to sell shit. It, you got to. We're working. We're training a new person to answer our phones this week, and we created a script for her, but it's not even a script. It's an outline. Here's like key things that we need from this conversation, but don't read this. Just understand I need to know this, 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 and this. However you get there, do it through a conversational format, not through a brain dead robot reading from a paper. We have a few things in our sales strategy that need to happen every time. Certain things like we've got a couple questions that we ask right off the get go to really basically understand the pain points of that customer. That way we can, you know, respond with some way to relieve that customer that we are the right person for this project. One of the other big ones that we use is in our strategy is a pre-close. And I don't know how many people do that. I think it works really well. So, and this is kind of scripted but each guy kind of says it in their own way. Um, the goal is to basically understand if we did a good job as a sales rep, you know, explaining everything, presenting everything. So before we write our quote on the spot, we go to the truck, jump on the computer that's mounted in the truck. There's a printer in there. We write the quote, we print it, we walk it back to the customer. But before we do that, we've done the full inspection. We've given them all the details on the products, the warranties, everything. They know everything that we're getting ready to give them a price on. So only thing missing is price. So before we go to the truck and write that quote, we do a pre-close and we ask a very simple question. Is there anything other than price that would keep you from signing our contract? Or is there anything from outside of price that would keep you from hiring Rain Stoppers Roofing? Something along those lines. And you hope that they say no, price is the only thing I'm, waiting to see. But at least if that gives them an opportunity, well, I still just don't understand the warranties. That gives you a chance before you leave that appointment to reiterate you understand what you're talking about. You know what? We didn't go over that good enough. Let's go sit back down. Let me write this quote up, and before I give it to you, I want to explain those warranties to you a little bit more in depth, or I want to explain the products that we're going to be giving you a little bit deeper. It just gives you a chance to make up if you missed something that you didn't answer a question that maybe didn't even get asked, but now you're putting that in front of them. To where when you give them a quote, the only thing stopping you from getting that project, hopefully, is the price. That's about the only thing we have that's scripted. The rest of it, we've got guys that sell. I've got one guy that's not a salesman whatsoever, and he's just the smartest freaking guy in the group, and he's been a roofer for years, running multiple crews, multiple job sites. He sells strictly on knowledge, and he sells just as good as everybody. I've got other guys that's never nailed a shingle in their life that are salesmen through and through, that they started in sales out of school and that's all they've ever done. They sell fantastic too. They do it totally different. Their script that they have for themselves is not the same whatsoever. So I don't provide that. You figure out how to sell on your own. We just give you a few things, a few little pieces of the puzzle that will kind of help navigate through that script idea.
Yep. That makes sense. I like that approach. Do you consider that to be right for everybody? Or do you think that there is a world in which people could have a script that was good enough in some markets where maybe that would work? Or
I think the only place a script works is inside sales, not outside
inside?
sales.
Yeah.
Outside sales is not the same. And that's where, I mean, let's be real. I have to think that's where I, I'm going off of just this little part of the world I live in, but it would be 90% of sales is outside sales. Um, you know, that we don't turn it over to, an inside salesperson till it's, you know, a cold lead. And at that point, our chances of selling it are not real good. But at that point, yeah, absolutely, you can have a script. But when you're going out and shaking a person's hand, best saying I ever heard. Write this down because this is the best thing I ever heard. Corey Adams, a friend of mine, told me this. When you walk up to the door and the dog comes up and sniffs you, pet the damn dog. And he like lived on that. It's like, because guess what? You pet the dog. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Guess what happens? You just made a relationship. It's already foot in the door. They see that you like their dog. The dog sniffing. You're all good. They're happy to have you. You already made a relationship. You cower down and act scared of the dog or act like something. It's over. You might as well just get back in the truck. But Corey always said, pet the damn dog. And I always thought that was the best freaking advice for sales that you could get.
Yeah. And I guess it probably applies not even if they don't have a dog, just like
It's all the
find
same. It's
find
just the
some way
same.
to connect. Yeah.
It's just the same. You see a picture on the wall of their kids in baseball. Man, I got a little boy that's playing baseball right now too. Or they've got some really nice petunias out front, and the wife's out there. And man, my wife's got flowers just like that. Man, yours look better. Done. You sold it. Like those little things, those little details, you make a relationship, and that's how you're going to make a sale, especially in today's market where it's so freaking hard to sell right now.